25 hours, officers were dispatched. I'm going to change that. At approximately 3:25 p.m., officers were dispatched to a disturbance, a welfare check. The call slips were stating that the male was in crisis, potentially on drugs. He was breaking windows and potentially cutting himself with glass. Officers arrived. They located the male, who was standing in the courtyard of the apartment complex by an apartment that was not his own. The officers kept their distance, trying to talk him, calm the situation down, de-escalate. As they were doing that, they were calling for backup to get additional resources. They're, again, continually trying to calm him down, tell him he's not in trouble, we're here to help. As they were doing this, suddenly the male charged at the two officers. One officer was less lethal with the taser, and the other officer had a firearm. They both discharged simultaneously as he approached at a very quick pace towards the officers. One time, the taser struck him, and the firearms. He was struck by the firearm. He went down. The officers retreated, still trying to calm him down. He was still agitated. They activated the taser one more time. He got back up. The officer who had originally had the firearm discharged his taser as the male charged him. The suspect knocks the officer down. They were fight. They were able to handcuff him at that point, and HFD was already on the scene, so he quickly received medical attention. He's been transported to the hospital almost within 10 minutes of the time of the shooting, and unknown condition at this time, but he was conscious and breathing at the time.
Any questions for Chief Jones?
Do you know where he was hit with the
It was in the midsection. I don't know if it was torso, stomach, in that direction. And as with all officer-involved shootings, our internal affairs will be investigating. Special investigation unit from Homicide Division will be investigating, as will the District Attorney's Office.
And Chief, we release body cam video within 30 days of an incident?
Yes, sir. Body-worn camera will be released within 30 days, as we do in all officer-involved shootings, and this will be no different than those.
So at the time of the confrontation, were there more than two officers present?
What I saw, there were two officers present. I know additional officers were arriving. I don't know if they arrived prior to the first shooting. I saw two in the distance in the cameras. You can see there's two more officers shortly after or right after it happened. So
in the physical confrontation, were other officers able to jump in when the person who was shot? He actually physically knocked the officer down, is that correct?
That's correct. The officer, he physically tackled the officer, knocked him down, and they were able to struggle and subdue him.
No, I'm just curious. At that point, there was at least one more officer present to assist?
Originally we had two officers at the scene. I saw at least two more had arrived by the time the second scene took place.
By the time there was that
the wrestling
confrontation
yes.
on the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
So to understand, he shot, holstered, and then pulled out the taser?
Yes, because at that point the person had dropped the edged weapon, which was the glass, which is what they were concerned with. Once he did that, they went completely less lethal.
Any other questions before we do Spanish?
Have you idea what kind of drugs he might have been on?
That's just speculation that he's on drugs, but his behavior kind of appeared that way, so no, I have no idea.
Okay. Chief, can you give the microphone to Chief Cantu?
Yes.